Here we go. We are getting started and we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome to All Things Self Mastery. I am Venus, a goddess. I am a self mastery mentor and solutionist. I've been teaching for 15 plus years, teaching you all the psychology behind why you do what you do so you can start creating new behavior patterns, hence attracting the people, places, and things you actually want in your life. And this evening, we're just gonna get into a little bit discussion and some facts. I like to stick with the facts and the reasons why. The why. I'm all about the why. We're gonna be talking about justifying poor behaviors. So as you come in, if you are on TikTok, welcome, 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 my loves. If you are in YouTube land, welcome, welcome, my loves. If you are on Facebook, welcome, welcome, my loves. It's going to be a nice discussion. Feel free to type in a question or comment or just simply share your perspective as we move along with this evening's topic. They are all welcome. If you are joining me in TT's and YT world, make sure you drop a comment. Just say, "Hey, peace, I'm here," getting this lesson. It's gonna be quick. Pharaoh, how are you, my love? Peace, peace, peace. So before anytime I go live, I like to ask a question to get the topic rolling and us into the discussion. By a show of hands, put a one in the comment if you at some point or are currently if you think you've become desensitized to people's poor behaviors. What do I mean? Have you become desensitized and senseless and mindless in a way to people treating you poorly? I'm talking about disrespect. I mean, I know it's true because look at all the conversations that we have in love, respect, and peace, Empress. This is the first time you popped up in my live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, I know and many of us know there's a lot of discussions, right? The reason why I know, not just believe, that many of us have become desensitized to other people's poor behavior, them treating us poorly, or even us treating ourselves poorly, is because this is a polarized conversation, right? We're constantly talking about the disrespect that we receive from others. We constantly talking about people not taking accountability and responsibility in our lives, right? We're constantly talking about, who did this and who didn't do this, right? However, I like to always get to the core of things, right? I'm an onion type of girl mentally. I process things by getting to the core, the catalyst of these things, because until you understand the why, you're not going to know the how to change certain things. So by one to put a one in the comments if you've been this person. I definitely have been this person, so I'll just I'll just raise my hand. Mwah. Cooking with Rosie, thank you so much for the heart. Thank you, I appreciate you so much. Infinite gratitude, right? How many of us have become desensitized to people treating us? Thank you so much, Pharaoh. Infinite gratitude. Thank you, love you, love you, love you. That's sweet of you. Thank you so much, right? And so I like to get to the why of things, right? Because here's what I noticed. Many of us are repeating so many unhealthy behaviors, right? Many of us are on this perpetual hamster wheel, right? And we're having so many discussions about the issues, about the problems, even about the solutions. However, I'm not seeing a big enough change, which leads me to know that many of us don't understand the why, not to the level and the degree in which we actually should, right? Not only are many of us really unfamiliar of who we are in our core essence, I'm talking about not just physically, I'm talking about spiritually and not religiously, right? Not man-made religion, not in that way, but we are part mental, we are part soul, spirit, and we are also part mental, right? Pardon me. And so a lot of us really don't understand the why we do what we do. We don't understand the psychological effects, right? Or the drive, what drives us to actually especially to do the things we do, especially when it comes to allowing people to treat us poorly, right? We're hearing the conversations, right? We're hearing the conversations in the manosphere, quote unquote. We're hearing the conversations in a woman's sphere, quote unquote. We're hearing all of these debates, and we're hearing women warring against men, and we're hearing men warring against women, right? And it's all about they did this and they did that, and they're not taking a responsibility, and you're seeing a whole lot of cognitive dissonance. We're seeing and hearing a whole lot of victimizing, victimship mentalities, right? So, what is true accountability, right? And the better question is, why are you allowing it? This is the better question. Not just surface level things, right? Not just surface level things. Hi, Velvet Jones. How are you, my love? Not just surface level things, right? And so, if let's, hypothetically speaking, right? This is one of the conversations that are going on, right? Why women are not submissive, why men are not the leaders that they're supposed to be, why people are extreme, some I dare to say more than what we would like to see, why many people are unhappy in relationships, especially romantic relationships, right? Platonic relationships, the relationships that we have with our family, the relationships we have with our loved ones, right? And this can be the parent to child relationship, the child to parent relationship, the sibling relationship, right? This can be the spouse relation in a spouse relationship. I'm talking about relationships in general, not just romantic relationships. A better question is, why are we why do we continue to allow people to mistreat us? Why do we feel we have to bear so many burdens, especially unnecessary burdens and unnecessary weight? Why do we feel we have to continually repeat ourselves? Why is it that we are continually demanding respect, right? Why is it that we are continually forcing people to treat us in the way that we ought to be treated, especially if you are a righteous, pure being, especially if you move about life in a righteous and just manner, in a fair manner? Why are we hooping and hollering and screaming, right? Why are we doing all of these things, right? And so many of the conversations and with much of the rhetoric that's going around, right? We're not really getting into the core. So when we talk about justifying poor behaviors, why do you feel, why do you think you have to remain in a partnership or any type of relationship with a person that constantly disrespects you? Right? With a person that constantly violates your boundaries, your standards, your negotiables, your non-negotiables. And the answer is in what I just said. Why? The core reason why many of us have not a clue of what our standards are. Not only are we not setting them, we're not standing firm in them. Many of us don't have healthy boundaries set, and we're not standing in those boundaries as well. And so when you're asking the question, why have many of us become desensitized to poor behaviors? These are the reasons why, right? I'm glad you're doing good, Velvet, right? These are some of the reasons why the majority of us have become desensitized to being treated poorly, right? Worthless, right? Yet we're demanding this of others. And then a lot of us have become so overwhelmed. We've become frustrated. We've become hopeless. We've become pessimistic about things, extremely negative about things, right? Because it has been going on for years and years and years and years for some of us, to where many of us is just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna stay single for the rest of my time here on this earth, right? I'm never going to receive love, right? I'm gonna constantly engage in dysfunction, unhealthy relationships, unhealthy conversations, so I might as well just bitch about it, right? I might as well just keep having unhealthy conversations about it, right? Becoming desensitized, non-responsive. Why do you think you become so non-responsive to poor behavior, right? But then we're complaining about it, right? And what we don't realize is the effects that's happening within our bodies. We don't realize the effects that's happening with our mental. We don't realize the effects that is having with our immune system, right? We don't really understand, especially the laws and principles of the universe of cause and effect. We don't really understand behavioral analytics, right? And all of these things are important because they have a lot to do with you, especially those of us who are constantly saying we want better. And that's beautiful. We want greater. I don't know not one person that's in their right mind that will say, I don't want greater for me. I don't want greater for my children. I don't want greater for my loved ones. I don't want greater. I don't want more or of whatever it is. And that could mean more peace. That could mean more health. That can mean more wealth. It could mean more vitality. It can mean all of these different things. However, when you have connected to people who are constantly pushing the borders and the boundaries of your non-negotiables, right? People who are pushing the borders of respect, people who are constantly violating you in a multitude of different ways, this affects you attracting and pulling towards whatever it is good that you actually want to attract in your life, right? And so the question is, why do you think you become so desensitized? Why do you accept people's poor behaviors, especially when it comes down to you? Why do you accept people mistreating you, especially when it comes to romantic relationships? And I'm going to get into the core reasons why a little further within the show, within the lesson. They're hurting you, right? You're hurting. You're hurting mentally, you're hurting spiritually, you're hurting physically, you're hurting financially, right? You're hurting mentally, you're hurting in so many different ways. And you are continually making the conscious choice to stay within that thing, whatever it is. So let's talk about some unhealthy issues as to why many of us are justifying people treating us poorly, people disrespecting us, people dishonoring us, right? Let's start with individuals don't really know who they are, right? Ashe Pharaoh, thank you so much. Let's start with that. Let's start with a lot of us don't remember who we are. A lot of us are not tapped into higher conscious awareness. A lot of us simply think we are the vehicle, we are the avatar. A lot of us think that we are the car, right? A lot of us think that a lot of us think only the physical aspects of who you are. What's the physical part? What does the physical part include? Taste, touch, sight, seeing, smelling, right? And that's all we're going off of. That's all we're building our reality off of, right? And that has nothing to do with the essence of you. That's not where your power lies, right? What happens when you starve something? I often say all the time, for those of you who are familiar with me, what you feed will gain power and what you starve will lose its power, right? And we have to start with who we are at our core essence. We are frequency, we are energy, we are magnetic. Do you understand what I'm saying? We are the infinite source of power. However, just because you are inherited with this power, just because you share the same essence and oneness with the infinite source of creation, with this infinite power, some of you call that God. How can you be a part of something or someone that is so powerful, yet you don't really understand who you are? Specifically the power that you have, the authority that you have. So when it comes to you becoming desensitized to people treating you poorly or you treating yourself poorly, you must first understand that you don't know as much as you think you know about who you are. Because I don't know how many people who actually have power, who actually have authority and walk around like they're powerless, walk around like they're the victim, walk around and allow people to disrespect them and dishonor them and treat them any kind of way, especially when you are the one paying the cost. When you're the one paying the cost mentally, when you're the one that's self-destructing within, right? That doesn't sound like a powerful person. That doesn't sound like a person that understands who they are. That doesn't sound like a person that knows their worth, right? Thinking that you are worthy, speaking that you are worthy, and acting as if you're worthy is three different things, entirely different things. And then demanding people treat you according to your worth is entirely different. And right now we have a whole bunch of respect me. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm a king, I'm a queen, I'm a god, I'm a goddess. Let me tell you something. True power does not ask. It confidently, right? With conviction, demands. There's no arguing back and forth. Your persona and your energy should lead before you always. There's no argument. It's a simple remove. It's a simple removal of yourself or the removal of that person. But we don't allow people to come into our lives and treat us any kind of way, especially if you understood what it actually is doing to you. Because as living infinite organisms, one of our primary purposes, and we spoke about this in your live Pharaoh earlier, right? When you asked the question, what is your purpose, right? And I know that one of our purposes on this realm, if you are a living infinite being, a living organism, indisputable fact, right? If you are not expanding, if you are not evolving, if you are not growing, you are literally self-destructing within. Do you think many of us are losing our ever-loving minds for no reasons? Yes. Facts. Wisdom starts at acknowledging what you don't know. Ashe. It's the beginning of everything, and it's okay. And I get it. I get it. There's so many systems that have been put in place for our demise as a setup. We have been conditioned and programmed for years and years and years and centuries that we're still dealing with today. Many of us are just unaware. So many of us are just unaware of it. So I get that we were programmed and conditioned to think that we're just this physical avatar. I get that we were just programmed to think that we need to allow someone to slap both sides of your cheek. I understand that we've been conditioned to humble ourselves, to make ourselves subservient to another person's insecurities and lack thereof. I get that we have been conditioned with Eurocentric philosophies and dogmas and ideologies and concepts that were never created from our divine essence. They were never created to help us evolve and mature and grow and expand. They were created to destroy us. However, there are no justifiable excuses now in these days. And this is what I mean. We have to understand who we are. We have to understand where we are. We have to understand frequencies. We have to understand a little bit about a lot of things. I always say I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about a lot of things, right? Where are we with the planetary alignment? Many of you just hear that, oh, we're in the age of Aquarius, but you don't really understand what that means. In this day and time and space, there are literally no rhyme, reasons, or justifications as to why we are still accepting and allowing people to treat us poorly, right? So let's go through the list of reasons of why some of us have become desensitized to other people's poor behaviors when it comes down to us, and why we are sometimes allowing ourselves to act poorly, right? To act unjustly, to act foolish, to act ignorant, to act unintelligent, to act unbecoming of the God or goddess we say we are, to act other than the king or queen we say we are, right? There's no excuses. And so I'm going to list these things, and they are in no particular order. One of those reasons is because we lack confidence. We lack confidence. We have been taught and programmed to submit to literally, and I say this respectfully, people, places, and things that are really inferior. When you understand the things that I speak of, right? We walk around with our head down. We walk around like we don't have an army of ancestral power running through our veins and that are all around us. We walk around like we are the victim. We walk around like we are powerless, and we think the louder we project our voices, we think the more we speak a certain things that inherently that's going to allow you to walk in the confidence that you need to walk in, right? If any of you are familiar with the what was that what was that movie with Atreo? Mm, someone help me out. It wasn't it wasn't A Land Before Time with the flying dragon with the infinite. I'll get back to that. I'm not remembering. Thank you so much for the follow, my love, right? Anyway, there's a scene in this movie where Atreo had to go through the Sphinx, right? And the Sphinx represented, in a metaphysical sense, they represented the Gemini twins. They represented divine duality. They represented divine polarity. And no one can go cross, meaning no one can reach their higher level of ascension, right? No one can reach higher levels of conscious awareness unless you are confident going through the twin gates, because the minute this energy, this Gemini energy, the minute the universe, right, the minute people smell your lack of confidence, guess what? They're going to destroy you. It's going to destroy you. And you seen as Atreo was going through the twin portals, right? The Gemini twins, he was going towards the Sphinx where he was going to be judged on many things. You can see at the beginning he started to hesitate, right? And so the eyes were shut on the Sphinx, but the minute the Sphinx felt a lack of confidence, the minute the Sphinx felt that Atreo was complacent and experiencing cognitive dissonance, right? The minute they experienced, they started opening their eyes, ready to shoot their beams to destroy him, right? And so he had to rev himself up to actually run through the Sphinx. He had to muster up the confidence. The only way you are going to put yourself in a position to receive the worth that you deserve, to receive the respect that you want to reserve, that you want and deserve, right? Is if you have the confidence to speak, if you have the confidence to not be subservient, if you are not a people pleaser, right? Because many of us are people pleasing to our own detriment. We're so worried about other people's peace of mind. We're so worried about other people's happiness and joy. We're so worried about others' physical well being at the detriment to where we are literally self destructing and falling apart, right? Oh, but as long as you're happy, as long as you smile, even if I'm hurting inside, even if I'm mentally distorted, right? That's not having confidence. And so, one of the core reasons why many of us have become desensitized to people's poor behaviors, right, even of ourselves, is because we lack the necessary confidence that's needed, right? We lack the necessary confidence that's needed. Another reason is some of us are just hopeless, right? We don't feel we deserve to be treated with respect. We don't feel we deserve greater. So we choose the lesser. Let me say that again. We lack hope. We're hopeless. We don't feel we deserve greater. Some of us inwardly, perhaps unknowingly, feel that we are less deserving. So we choose the lesser. And then we wonder why we find ourselves in all types of dysfunctional, unhealthy relationships, whether it is with your children, whether it's with your a family member, whether it is with your spouse, right? I just mentored a lady, right? And she says that she's been in a relationship for 20 plus years. 20 plus years, and the weight, she says, of her significant other, her husband, continuing to treat her poorly, continuing to disrespect her, right? Lack of confidence, lack of hope. You mean to tell me for 20 plus, let's take it back. Even 1 year. You mean to tell me that you feel that you're respected, that you're worthy, that you're valued, right? And then you allow yourself to stay in a situation or attached to someone simply because of a title, simply because of, and I'll say this respectfully, because of children, because of money. You allow yourself to stay in these circumstances, in these situations for what? And it's costing you everything, right? It's literally costing you everything. So you either know you deserve to be treated with respect and with honor, with integrity. You either know that you yourself operate with respect, with honor and integrity, or you just don't. Some things are literally black and white. Some things are a yay or nay. Some things don't have a gray area where you get to play in, right? Because some of those gray areas are extremely dangerous, extremely dangerous. And we're listening to misguided, uninformed, low vibrational individuals who continually pump your head up with these concepts and philosophies and behaviors that says it doesn't matter what you think. Continue to get whatever you can out of him or her. Continue to mistreat him or her. Continue to be selfish with him or her. Continue to take with him or her. Continue to abuse that person mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially, as long as it's serving your purpose. Playing in that gray area, not knowing how dangerous it is. A lot of y'all think that gray area is a sandbox, and it's really quicksand. Only you don't realize how fast you're sinking, right? There are some people who play them games, who play in that sandbox, in that gray area for so long, and they're not here to tell you that you should literally go in the opposite direction, that you should literally take some time and reevaluate why you keep accepting poor behaviors from people, why you become so emotionless and so desensitized to people treating you with such disrespect and dishonoring you. But they're not here in a physical form to tell you this. We literally have so many examples as to why we should not take certain paths. And yet we're taking those very same paths. And not only that, we're jumping on the bandwagon just as fast as the wheels are rolling. All because it sounds good. All because it's polarized. All because it may be popular. And it's not. We're literally listening to women hoop and holler about it's a single lady life, it's a single lady life. We're literally listening to men diminish, degrade women, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, the divine oracles. We're literally witnessing women emasculate men, degrade them, dehumanize them. Shame, and it's on both sides. And we like, yay, speak girl, speak girl, speak boy. Yeah, come on here and join the club. You know what those clubs are really for? Your destruction, quicksand. Yeah, Sticky. We all gonna see one day, right? And so as long as I'm here, I'm gonna come before you and teach you and give you higher perspectives, gives you some things to actually think about. Facts. Fact, is it pronounced Shayla? I don't want to mispronounce your name. Is it Shayla, my love? Right? And so we have to understand this. You gain some confidence, right? Many of us have Sheila. Okay, thank you so much, my love. I appreciate it, because I see you supporting, and I see you engaging, and I always like to address, those of you who are here, right? I appreciate you so much, Sheila. Thank you so much for correcting me. Right? Many of us, another reason why, and think, we're talking about justifying poor behaviors of others and of ourselves. We're making excuses for why we're being a parakeets, for why we keep hooping and hollering about people respecting us, right? And so I'm here to give you the why, the psychological reason behind your why, because you need to understand why you keep doing the things that you're doing. Not only when it comes to acting below or beneath who you were created to be, as I define it, right? My philosophy. But also, you need to understand the why and how you can continually attract all of what and who you desire. And another reason why, especially, but we're going to focus on the poor behavior part, because a lot of us are in that process. A lot of us are suffering. A lot of us are in so many unhealthy relationships, right? So another reason is because there, at some point in time, there was a shift in your priorities. There was a shift. Candy, thank you so much for the follow, my love. There was a shift in your priorities. Sheila, thank you so much for sharing the live. I appreciate you. Right? One another reason why many of us have become desensitized to poor behaviors, or why we justify poor behaviors, is because there was a shift in our priorities. You are no longer your priority. Your happiness is no longer your priority. Your well-being is no longer your priority. Your self-development is no longer your priority. Your elevation and expansion is no longer your priority. Your priority is everything and everybody else. What are you prioritizing in your life? It would, if you had a list of priorities from 1 to 10, many of us, if we're transparently honest, many of us are in the area of 8, 9, or 10. When you really should be numero uno. You really should be number one. Sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are. Yeah. You come from a different place, and I know you travel far. Da-da, 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 da-da. How many of y'all know what I'm talking about? The Wiz. She's the Wiz, and she lives in universe. Da, da. The Wiz. Very, very popular movie, full of wisdom, right? Where are you on your priority list? What things are you prioritizing over yourself? What people are you prioritizing over yourself, right? Because many of us, we come last. Work comes first, money comes first, right? Our careers come first, children come first, right? Everything secular comes first. Fixing what we need to fix, right? All the materialistic things, the upkeep of all of our material possessions come first. Your car come first, the home fixings come first. Your co-workers come first, your managers, your bosses, even your employees, they come first. Everybody comes first before you, right? And so another reason why we become desensitized to poor behaviors, justifying poor behaviors, even when it comes to ourselves, is that there was a shift in your priorities. And it is high time that you sat yourself down and reevaluated, where are your priorities? Who are on your priority list? Where are you on your priority list? Marvin, listen, that's still one of my favorite movies in the whole wide world. Hey, your lie. How are you, my love? Yes. Where are you on your priority list? Why aren't you first? Why doesn't your overall well-being means everything to you? Why doesn't your health mean everything to you? Why isn't your health number one? Why isn't your mental wellness number one? Why isn't your dreams and your hopes, why isn't that number one? Why is somebody's happiness and their joy and their success is number one in your life? Why is your car first? Why is your home first? Why is your children first? Why does everyone supersede you? Why do you feel the need to continually Empty out everything that's in your glass, everything, without demanding that you yourself make sure that you're in overflow. And when you're not, you know how to retreat. Priorities. There's been a shift in your priorities. Why doesn't your joy and your happiness come first? Why doesn't your relaxation come first? Why doesn't you getting proper sleep and rest come first? Why does money come first? Because what good is it if you gain all of these things, right? And you lose your very essence, you lose your soul, you're misplaced mentally if you're completely self-destructing and imploding. What good is it that you are so adamant about putting everybody else and everything else first? And you're miserable. For the sake of what? To say, I have this, I have that, I have a man, I have a woman, I have a husband, I have a wife, I have money in my bank account, I can go. What good is it if you're not physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically able to have the vitality that's necessary and the joy to be able to experience it and cultivate it? What good is it? Reshift your priorities. Take some time to figure out where you are on your priority list, right? And for many of us, social media is number one. Social media is number one, two, and three, sometimes one through 10. We on social media when we rise. We on social media when we rest. From sun up to sundown, you're on social media. Nothing is private. Nothing is sacred. Where are you on your priority list? Nothing is sacred. Everything you're doing is on social media. Do you understand what's happening to you? Do you understand that your aura field is weak? And you wonder why you react to certain people, places, and things the way you do. You wonder why people are so reactive and so explosive. You're weak. There's no strength and no power in you. Your glass is empty. There's no vitality in it. There's no love in it, no genuine love, right? Right? There's no authentic smiles in it. There's no authentic and genuine, I'm okay, because many of us are not. Many of us are not. Right? You everywhere else but with yourself. Everywhere else but with yourself. Where are you on your priorities list? Because when you are in a position, when you are in a state, when you are in the environment, right? When you are connected with people and you allow them to cause you mental dysfunction, spiritual dysfunction, when you are diseased, uncomfortable, feeling overwhelmed, why do they take precedence over you? Yes, Pharaoh, Ashe. Why do they take precedence over you? When do you actually sit yourself down? Some of us don't even know what physically what we prioritizing. You prioritize social media. Some of us all day, every day, right? Reshift your priorities, because let me tell you something. If you continue down the path that you're going, a lot of you are going to miss the boat. A lot of you are going to descend instead of ascend. A lot of you are going to continually devolve instead of evolve, right? And as many people that are talking about, we're in this infinite eighth life cycle. It's beautiful. It's the year of intelligence. It is not the year, well, the year two, which New Year's is coming up real soon, right? New Year's was not January 1st. That's like a little side nugget for you. Wink, wink. Right? New Year's is coming up, right? New life springs in spring, not winter. And so as we enter this new beautiful life cycle, 8 cycle, and it's so significant because number 8 is my life path number, right? So this is a phenomenal year for me and a phenomenal year for many of you. However, getting back to the focus, many of us have heard that we're entering into this beautiful new 8 life cycle, right? I'm not going to go into the meaning of all of that, right? And and it also comes with abundance of all things you want, need, and or desire. It can, right? It comes with greater awareness, right? It comes with all of these beautiful things. It comes with manifesting more. It comes with, and it all can be true if you position yourself for. You know what else it comes with? Great exposure. Do you not understand? Are you not paying attention with these reflectors of all of these systems that are crashing? Do you not understand what is going on around the world with the tsunamis and the earthquakes, right? And the demolition and the explosions above and below? Are we not paying attention to all of these things going on? Are we not literally seeing people, right, who are unrighteous and unjust, right, who have done and still doing the most heinous and horrific things? Do you not see that they are literally crashing before our eyes? Never in the history of time where all of these things have been exposed and polarized like they are. Never in the history of time do we then that many of us can literally see, hear all of the destruction that is going on around you, because it used to be that the quote unquote elites, everything was in secret, everything was underground, everything was unknown. Everything is literally being exposed right before your eyes, and you think you can continually play games with yourself and play games with this quote unquote God, play games with the universe, with universal principles and laws. You think you can continually allow people to mistreat you and disrespect you. You think that you yourself can keep on going how you're going, and there will be no consequences for you, baby. There's going to come a time with when each and every one of us is put in the limelight. You think TD Jakes is the only one that been on that stage in that clear glass house, right? Where everybody to see and is exposed. You think they were the only ones being exposed? You think Oprah and all of these other people are being exposed for no reason? You think all these pedophiles are being exposed for no reason? You think all the unjust systems and unrighteous systems is being exposed for no reason? The destruction that you see, that we're seeing, it's supposed to take place. But the ignorance of some of us think that, oh, that's happening to everybody else. That ain't gonna happen to me. That ain't gonna happen to me. I can keep living the life I've been living. I can continually self-destruct and nothing going to happen to me. I can keep living the way I'm living. I can keep not putting myself first. I can keep feeding everybody else but myself, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and financially. Oh, yeah. Your time is coming too, my loves. Your time is coming. How you're put on display, how all of your endeavors that was in the dark, that was done in the dark. Okay, how you're going to be exposed is very different, right? The exposing is going to be different for all of us, dependent on the capacity and the level and the weight of your every decision and choice. And if you think you can continually make choices that are not becoming and befitting of your higher self, of you operating in your higher self, you have another thing coming, because this is not only a beautiful year of abundance of all things as beautiful and great. This is not only the beautiful 8th path year and life cycle of infinite, right? Infinities of beautiful opportunities, right? This is also the year of exposure, of unveiling. Change your ways, my love. Prioritize you. Prioritize your well-being. Stop caring so much of what other people think, of what society think, of what people are always going to have things to say. However, choose you. And choosing, you making the conscious choice to choose to put you first, to make you number one and cultivate that number one spot is going to benefit you in so many ways. So many ways. Because the opposite of you not choosing you is you're going to continually self destruct. We're seeing this all day, every day. We're seeing people literally lose their ever loving minds, selling their morals, their values, their righteousness, what some people say, selling their souls for so many things that you will never be able to take with you in the next life. The here and now is not only what matters. Everything you do, every decision you make, especially when you're not making a decision to choose you, matters. There's going to come a time where the universal law of cause and effect is going to put you in that limelight and righteously judge you for every decision you make. It doesn't matter whether you made a decision in ignorance or bliss. It doesn't matter whether you was informed or uninformed. It does not matter. The universe does not care if you're ignorant or if you're knowledgeable. It does not care if you're aware or unaware. You're going to get the same smoke that everybody else get. You're going to have to get the same smoke that everybody else get. You're going to be weighed no matter what. So you can continually claim ignorance. You can continually justify why you're allowing people to put you 6 feet below, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, energetically, financially. You can continually make excuses and blames and continually be the victim and continually people pleasing. However, the day will come when you're going to have to pay for every decision you're making, right? And a lot of you are making decisions that your ass can't cash. It's going to hurt many of you. However, why not start to change those behaviors now when you actually have the opportunity, when you're actually in a right state of mind, when you actually have the vitality, when you actually have the energy, when you actually have the opportunities, when you actually are afforded with the gift of breath? Why not change your ways now when you have the physical mobility to do so? Why not change your ways now when you have every ample opportunity to do so? Is it going to cost you something? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's always going to be cause and effect. You get what you give. The law of attraction states that what you get, you give. What you give, you get in return. So understand the process of you making a new choice. Understand the process of you no longer accepting people's poor behaviors. Understand the process, because when it comes down to it, yes, you're going to receive some resistance. Yes, you're going to experience some cognitive dissonance. Yes, you're going to receive some repellent. It's going to be why? Because your body and your mind was programmed to do the opposite. And when you understand the process of you changing your ways, you also understand that just because you make a profound decision to go in the right path today does not mean that you are not going to have to bear the weight of every choice that you made in your past. But maturity and responsibility and higher states of awareness and perspectives allows you to stand firm even in that. It allows you to stand firm and confident and know that, listen, I made these decisions and I'm going to stand in it. I'm going to stand upright in it, as we say, stand 10 toes in it, because you stood 10 toes in it when you was making all them foolish choices. You stood 10 toes up when you was allowing that man or that woman to disrespect you. You stood 10 toes in when you played the victim. So stand 10 toes in it when now you're becoming the victor. Stand 10 toes in it when now you have to reverse the process. Stand 10 toes in it when you're building up your confidence and your resiliency. Stand in it. Don't waver, don't fall. It's a part of the natural process, my loves. Don't run from it. You don't have to be scared of it. It's just a universal principle and laws, and no one can escape it. Not you, not no one. It don't matter how much money you have in the bank. It don't matter how many cars you have. No one can escape cause and effect. No one. Not you, not me, my love. And so the more you're aware of who you are at your core, the more you become aware of the processes that is going to happen, that you're going to undergo when you move from one position to the next position, when you move from being the victim to the victor, when you move from being hopeless to hopeful, when you move from being limited to limitless. Yes, there's a process that comes with that. You're not a bag of popcorn, my love. You can't nuke your way in 3 minutes to where you want to be. There's some steps and some procedures and processes that you're going to have to undergo. It's all a process. Peace, Omega. How are you, my love? Peace, bro. Right? Curve Appeal. How are you, my love? Hi. Many of us are justifying other people's poor behaviors towards us and accepting our own poor behaviors, right? Because we have become accepting of less than. We feel we are not deserving of, which is why I said, I'll say it again, we choose lesser. Many of you are choosing in a romantic sense when it comes to dating. Many of us are choosing men and women who we know cannot and will not dare to judge us in many ways because you psychologically think that they too are beneath the lack that you're in, right? Many of us choose mates that is going to validate what we lack, right? So we'll say when you look at a man, prime example, this is something that happens. Some of us women will look at a certain caliber of man, will look at certain attributes of a man, will look at a certain man, look at certain men with certain characteristic traits, right? And we'll say, oh, he's out of my league. Or men and women, oh, she's out of my league. Why? Why are they out of why are they out of your league? Have you ever asked yourself, like really been transparently honest with yourself and asked yourself, why is that man or woman out your league? I'll tell you why. Because I'm here to tell you the undesirable truth, not the desirable truth, because many of us been sucking on lollipops for way too long. And we just all sweet, all sensitive. Don't tell me the truth. It hurts. It's bitter. Okay. I don't want medicinal medicine, right? The truth behind that is you don't feel you're deserving of that man because he's in shape and you're not. You don't feel you're deserving of that woman because she's in shape and you're not. You don't feel you're deserving of that man because he has a certain type, a certain mindset, a certain intelligence, and you feel you lack intelligence and information. You don't feel you're deserving of that man or woman is because they have a certain career and they have a certain status and you don't feel like you measure up to them. A lot of us are choosing people are so easily accepting to poor behaviors because we inwardly lack the self-esteem, the courage, the intelligence, the information, right? The wisdom, the guidance, right? We lack all of these things. So what do? We choose someone who we think is beneath us. We choose someone who doesn't give a damn about their health, who is out of shape and overweight, right? Because what? We're out of shape and overweight. So of course I'm not going to choose a man that's in a gym every day, all day when I'm just out of shape, right? He's not going to choose me. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Do you deserve or do you not? Right? Do you deserve or do you not? And if you're feeling you're undeserving, do something about it. But don't keep choosing the lesser because the lesser is destroying you. Don't keep accepting behaviors from other people because you're not holding up to standards and standards, right? And boundaries that you should have for yourself. Right? Sit down. Sit down, retract, pull back. Get out the game. Because meanwhile, you think you're winning. You're not. You're only fooling yourself, my love. Right? Yes, Tasha, accountability. We have to understand this. We have to get to a place where we're confident and we're respecting ourselves and we understand what self actualizing is. We understand what self full love is. We understand what being when we need to be selfish and when we need to be selfish and when we need to be self full. We understand these things. And when you do, you take accountability and responsibility to be like, you know what? I'm allowing way too much of this to go on. I'm repeating myself way too much as if you're a damn parakeet. If you demand respect, demand it. Don't keep talking about it. If you demand that man or woman to have integrity, don't keep talking about it. The minute that he or she shows you the opposite, have the strength and the courage and the self-respect and the dignity, honor, and integrity to walk away, move away. Because the longer you stay in it, the more you self-destruct, the more you devolve, right? The more you decline, the more your insecurities get stronger, the more your lack of confidence gets stronger, the lower your self-esteem goes. What you feed will gain power, and what you starve will lose its power. And every decision you make, you're feeding something. And then many of us are feeding the wrong people, places, and things. We're feeding the wrong ideologies. We're feeding the wrong concepts. We're feeding the wrong philosophies. We're feeding the wrong mentalities. We're feeding the wrong spiritualities. We're feeding the wrong individuals. And we're wondering why they are so powerful. We're wondering why they have such a grip on us. I'm telling you the reasons why. Lack of confidence. You have lost hope. There was a shift in your priorities where you're no longer first, you're number 9. And you feel you're not deserving of greater. Pardon me, one minute, my loves. Hey, son, you good? Oh, son. Oh, well, listen. Well, listen. When one door closes, is what it means is that the other door has opened. So don't be discouraged, son. Just joy. Keep your energies high because that's what it means. Nothing happens in your life to you; it happens for you. And if that door closes, it means that you have energetically aligned yourself to open that another door to get to your next level. So rejoice. Yeah, yeah, you know I got you. I got you. Always, always. I'm always there for you, son. No matter what. Yeah, just a reminder, hold your head up high, stand in it, okay? Because another door is about to open and that you allow yourself, it's gonna be so much greater. So much greater. Just expect that. Keep that coming to you. Keep that coming to you. Yes, you're gonna hear back from whoever you need to hear back because everything that happens in your life is purposed. Okay, just keep them high vibes going. Don't let discouragement. Don't let none of that shit seep in. Okay. Cool. Cool. Hmm. You know what? You know what? I'm actually on live. I'm teaching right now, and it's being recorded. because my priorities are straight. Okay, I gotta find out whether you good or not. My priorities are straight. And it's beautiful because we just got I'm speaking on priorities, right? And so yeah, you're one of my priorities. So the people, the family over here and the YouTube world and the TikTok land, they understand. Okay, I gotta make sure you good. But now that I know you good, you smiling, you laughing, we can continue this conversation when I get off live. I love you too. He said, "Thank you for taking the time. I love you. Love you too. Talk to you soon. Peace." Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. Listen, had to make sure, I don't gotta make sure my baby's okay. I got three sons, SUN, right? Um, so where was I? Where did we leave off, right? Where are you in your priority? Oh, there you go right now. He just hopped on. They understand love. It's okay. Just a little pause, a little break, okay? It's okay. Thank you so much. So, priorities. Some of us have to reshape our priorities. You have to put yourself first. And most times that require you to sit down and reevaluate where you are on your priority list. And I understand a lot of us are not in a position right now, currently, where we can just turn away, walk away, or leave. I understand that too. However, there is nothing that is stopping you from making an exit plan, making an exit plan. This is prioritizing you. Yes, it's not always going to be easy. Yes, it may pose some challenges and some discomforts. Absolutely. But do you have to fall to it? Do you have to bend to it? No. One of my mantras is that even in the midst of storms, you can still find beauty in it. Even in the midst of thunder and lightning and destruction, you can still see creation forming. They go hand in hand. And that is going to be the difference between you experiencing elevation, you experiencing ascension and expansion, and another person who's still living like a victim, who is still unwilling to go through what's necessary for you to elevate. Mwah. Thank you, son, for the roses. I see them, right? Allow the unknown to occur. Allow yourself to embrace, right? Just because it's raining doesn't mean you have to cry, right? Just because it's a season of sorrow doesn't mean you have to be sad. Just because you are in a season of isolation and solitude does not mean that you have to be alone. You are never alone, never alone, never alone, right? May the flowers remind you why the rain was necessary. Oh, Amanda, that's beautiful. Let me say that again. May the flowers remind you the rain was necessary. Oh, I feel that in my soul. Thank you for sharing that, Amanda. That's beautiful. I love that. Mrs. Jules, thank you so much for the follow, right? Right? Ashe. Another reason why many of us are still justifying people's poor behaviors towards us or allowing ourselves to act poorly and unbecoming is because we are weak-minded and weak-willed. And everything I say sincere with sincerity. Everything I say is with sincerity. Even if it's gonna cause you to ouch. Even if you have to say ouch. When you are weak-willed and weak-minded, you are operating from a place of lack. You are operating from a place of low standards, no boundaries. You are operating from a place of servitude. You're operating from a place of ignorance, right? Because anyone who has the ability, right, to think for themselves, to make decisions on their own, to be able to cognitively see things coherently. Peace, Stefan. How are you, my love? How you doing? Right? Those individuals are not weak-minded and weak-willed. Those individuals are not easily swayed and persuaded to succumb to another person's poor behaviors towards them. It doesn't mean that you are cocky in it, but you need to be confident that you are able to make wise, informed, intelligent decisions where anybody isn't just going to bamboozle you or unrighteously or unjustly manipulate you into thinking that you don't deserve to be treated with respect, treated with honor, right? Weak-willed and weak mind. Are you operating from your own mind? Who's controlling your mind? Are you in control or are they in control? Right? Who's controlling your decisions? Are you empowered or are you disempowered? Right? It's a choice. Weak-willed and weak-minded people will always allow anyone, anything and everyone to come into their life and wreak all types of havoc. Right? Do y'all understand that? And Alexandra, how are you, my love? Right? And I don't desire you to be weak-willed and weak-minded. You should not be easily manipulated. You should not allow a man, a woman, a friend, a boss, a co-worker, an associate, your children to manipulate you and convince you that you don't feel how you feel. And in most cases, especially when you are being disrespected. You don't allow a person that is strong-minded, right? Informed intellectually, do not allow someone to use reverse psychology on them. They don't allow nobody to flip the script. Even if they sound real, fly with it. Let me tell you something, because you have people that can finesse a conversation. You have people that can finesse you out of your confidence. You have people that can finesse you out of your free will, your free thought. You have people that are convinced you that you're the one that's crazy, that you're the one that's overacting, that's overacting, that you're impulsive. You have people thinking that people will make you think that you're the one that's unintelligent. You'll have people will have you thinking that you're not intuitive, that you're not spiritual, that you don't sense what you sense, even if you're unable to articulate it. They know. They know. But you know what else they know? The people who you allowing to disrespect you and dishonor you and abuse you in many ways, you know what they also know? They also know that you are weak-willed and you're weak-minded. They also know that you will allow their poor behaviors. They know because you have allowed it time and time and time and time again. They know that you're now in your fifth year of repeating something you don't stand on yourself. They know that you're not standing firm in the boundaries that you once set. They know your boundaries are weak. They know your intuition is weak. They know your confidence is weak. They know your self-esteem is below 8 feet deep. They know that you don't have a mind of your own. They know that you don't have intelligence. They know all of these things. Why? Because you've been acting like it. This is what you're showing them. This is what you're showing them. There are individuals who are out there that can smell your weakness. They can sense your insecurities. They can sense your bitterness. They can sense your dysfunctions. They can sense your lack in all of these things. They can sense your codependency. They can sense your desperateness. You stick out like a sore thumb. It's like a pheromone. It's like a dog whistle. that only dogs can hear. And you are unknowingly blowing it loudly. You're loudly saying, I lack confidence, come abuse me. You're loudly expressing verbally and non-verbally that, hey, I need you in my life so you can approve me, so you can accept me, so you can build me up, so you can teach me and guide me because I'm unable to do it myself. You're boldly saying, I am weak-minded and weak-willed. I'm easily manipulated. I'm easily influenced. I'm easily swayed. You can come on over here and abuse me. Because the only thing I'm going to do is keep repeating myself because I've become a parakeet. The only thing I'm going to do is keep yelling at you. The only thing I'm going to do is keep talking to you and talking to you and talking to you and talking to you. When are you going to allow your actions to talk for you? Because that type of person is not weak-willed, is not weak-minded, and they are not easily swayed. That type of person have the confidence, the self-respect, the self-full love, the gratitude. That type of person has the confidence and the integrity to not allow anyone for any reason, for any amount of dollar. Your boundaries should not be for sale, as my good friend Gumbo says. Your boundaries should not be for sale. Your standards should not be for sale. Your negotiables should remain your negotiables, and your non-negotiables should remain your non-negotiables. What they say these days, period. Period. End of the discussion. Because some things is not up for debate. My self-full love, not up for debate. My reservoir of self-full love is not up for debate. My integrity is not up for debate. My standards are not up for debate. Make sure they're righteous and just. It's not up for debate. My awareness is not up for debate. It's not a dialogue, baby. This is not a conversation. Sometimes, yeah, there needs to be a dictatorship. There needs to be a dictatorship. Me dictating to you what you will and will not do. That's it. No discussion. Now, what we can discuss is how we're going to go about having fun, enjoyment, how we're going to have these conversations. But what is not up for discussion is me telling you how you're not going to continually disrespect me and dishonor me. How you going to act, how you going to continually act like a fool. Another one of our reasons why we become so desensitized to people treating us poorly, right, is because we have misguided perspectives, right? I done met and have spoke to several young ladies that make all type of excuses, justifications, rhymes, reasons as to why they are still given every ounce of energy, every ounce of love, every ounce of grace, every ounce of body they can find for them to slap necks, willingly offering it to him after they continually show them they're undeserving of it. I haven't seen him in 7 months, but that's my man. I love him. He doesn't prioritize our relationship. That's my man. He makes me cry more than he makes me smile, but that's my man. I'm going to have patience. I'm going to have grace. Why? Because well, none of us is perfect. We're all human. That is such that is such that is really a unfortunate justification you give yourself and you have convinced yourself of. Same goes for men. Yes, Sheila, it is sad. crying, tearing. The man disrespects you. The man flirts and this. The man don't acknowledge you. But that's my man, right? And all type of entanglements. That's my man, though. I'ma stick by him. He talked to me crazy. Well, I talk to him crazy too, so it's only right that I allow him to talk to me crazy. He goes upside my head. Well, sometimes I can be, deserving. Sometimes I get fly with the mouth. So yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 years later. But you have self-respect. You have self-full love. You have integrity. No, you become desensitized to allowing that man or that woman to treat you poorly. You have become so accepting and so used to making all types of excuses, justifications, rhymes, and reasons as to why you're accepting that man or that woman's poor behavior. People pay attention to what they prioritize. People make time for what they prioritize. And if you are not making time for you, you're not a priority in your life. If your so-called man, woman, significant other, spouse, husband, wife isn't making time for you, you're not a priority in their life. It's just the simple truth. You don't respect yourself as much as you think you do. You don't honor yourself as much as you think you do. You don't value yourself as much as you think you do. And then many of us are hooping and hollering, I'm single, I'm single, I'm gonna remain single, I'm gonna remain celibate. Yeah, that's absolutely grand. But if you inwardly, actually, and it's okay if you desire to have a significant other, baby, hooping and hollering about how celibate you are and how single you are and how you're gonna remain those things is not a flex. Because the choices that you're choosing to be single in isn't helping you. What are you doing while you're single? Are you reprioritizing you? Are you really doing the inner work? Right? Like, what are you doing? We have accepted so many lies that we told ourselves is sickening. It's sickening, it's destructive, and you're not kidding nobody but yourself. You can pop all that hot shit you want to. You can finesse any conversation you want to. You can intellectually talk about the foolishness that you talk about, baby. But when it's you and you, them tears ain't lying to you. Them tears ain't lying to you. That hopeless feeling ain't lying to you. This discouragement that you feel ain't lying to you. This sorrow that you feel, this inadequacy that you feel isn't lying to you. So you can keep on putting up a facade. You can keep coming on this worldwide internet, propagating lies. You can continually wear the mask, baby. But if you think eventually that mask ain't gonna start wearing you, you're sadly mistaken. Because at some point in time, you got to take the mask off. At some point, you got to take the mask off. I mean, how many of you shower with your clothes on? A lot of y'all claiming y'all doing inner work, but y'all doing inner work with layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of clothes on. And you think you getting clean. You think you getting healed. You think you washing yourself of something. How you think you cleaning yourself stepping in the shower? It's an oxymoron philosophy and concept. How you think you going to bathe with your clothes on? And we're soaping up the clothes. We're soaping up the clothes. Yes, some of the spots on your body may get clean, but what about the other parts? What about the other parts? Right? And so it's definitely time. Undesensitize yourself to people's poor behavioral treatments of you. Sit down with yourself and reprioritize you. Pay attention to the things that you have allowed in your life from the people that are in your life that are not serving your higher purpose, that is not really there for your overall elevation and expansion, right? Realize when you're still in traumatic suffering, right? Realize when individuals are traumatizing you or adding to that trauma. Realize when other individuals are still living in their trauma. Realize that you have some emotional things you need to resolve, some unresolved emotional addictions and attachments that you need to resolve. Because if you do not sit down and take time for yourself and prioritize you, guess what? You're going to keep on allowing people to treat you in certain ways. And remember what I said, what you feed will gain power, and what you starve will lose its power. The more you feed a mental program, the stronger that program gets, the more your body becomes on autopilot and responds to it. So no longer are you the mind, the body is the mind. Now the body is dictating what you're going to do. This is why some of our affirmations don't work, because you don't understand what mental programming is. You don't understand how the engine makes your car run. We don't understand behavioral sciences. And I'm not saying that you have to be a philosophy in all of these things. However, understanding certain philosophical principles would allow you to have a deeper understanding as to why you keep justifying people's poor behavior in the first place, why you feel so stuck, why you feel like you're in quicksand. Meanwhile, you're saying, help, help, help. Meanwhile, you're saying, I want to get out of this. Meanwhile, you're saying and knowing that this is unhealthy. Why do you think people stay in unhealthy relationships, toxic relationships? Why do you think people stay connected to individuals who are constantly disrespecting them and dishonoring them? Understanding how your mental works is going to give you the answers so you can start reprogramming. You cannot form a new behavior, right? Until you change the mental programming. What do you mean by mental programming, Venus? You have programs within programs that over the years you were conditioned by, right? And now that condition has become stronger because you kept feeding it by repeating it, now it's on autopilot. So the minute you want to go left, your mental program say, we're going right, because that's the direction we're used to going in. You have a mental program for the way you brush your teeth. You have a mental program for the way you dance. You have a mental program for the way you perceive love, receive love, and give love. You have a mental program for the way for the way you behave. You have a mental program for the way you put on your clothes. You have a mental program for the way you dress, what you choose. You have a mental program for how you decipher. You have a mental program for the way you drive. You have a mental program for the way you walk, for the way you talk. You have a mental program for everything. And if you do not understand what's driving your behaviors, you're not going to change them. And I know many of us have heard the term or the concept in philosophy that it takes 21 days to form a new behavior, right? But until you understand where that new behavior is created from, you're going to continually repeat those behaviors. The stronger will always win. This is why affirmations don't work alone. You can verbally speak all the good things you want to until you turn blue, and it's not going to work because your frequency isn't aligned with that. Your programming isn't aligned with that. It's not strong enough. You have to keep feeding it. You don't keep what you don't cultivate. You don't strengthen what you don't feed. Many of us are feeding the same programs, the same beasts, the same people, the same behaviors that we dislike, that is unbeneficial, that we seek to destroy. And you're not understanding why you keep doing it. This is why it's important to take time away from the foolishness, take time away from the entertainment, because you could play all the games and you want to, all the games in the world that you want to, baby, but you should not be a game that you play with. Your mental stability should not be a game you play with. Your health should not be a game you play with. Your life should not be a game you play with. Your sanity, your peace should not be a game you play with. Okay? Some of us need to go back to school so we can get re-educated, because a lot of us was educated with this Eurocentric programming and philosophies that was never created for us in the first place. And so what? We keep going around in circles and circles and circles, right? Because of these philosophies and these programs. Your behaviors is created from your mental programs. The strongest of those will always come into manifestation in various forms. So if you are wondering why you yourself may be allowing people to treat you poorly in any way, shape, or form, it's time to sit down, because deep inside you have a program to say that says you're undeserving to be treated better. You're undeserving of respect. You're undeserving of love. Deep inside, it doesn't matter what you agree to or not. It's all the programming. Your thoughts leads to your feelings leads to your emotions leads to your actions, your behaviors and actions, which you're constantly willingly choosing, creates your reality. It creates your environment. Your habits create your habitat. I'll say it again. Your habits create your habitat. And a lot of you are miserable in the habitat you're living in, but you're constantly blaming other people, places, and things when you're the only one that can do something about it. It's no one else's responsibility to rearrange your house. It's no one else's responsibility to bring order in your life. That's your responsibility. Because people are going to do what they do. If you allow them to come into your home and demolish it, guess what? That's on you, my love. That's on you, my love. This is what do you think free will and power comes from? No one can violate your choice. You willingly have to give someone permission to do whatever it is they're going to do to you. You do. Even if you're presented with two choices that are not beneficial for you or not favorable to you, you still have the right to choose. You can choose either or you can create a new choice. Yes, sometimes the environment may not be conducive. Who told you that you have to choose the lesser of two evils? You don't. That's foolishness. Oh, this person is wicked, but that person is wickeder, so I'm going to choose the wicked person. Do you know how foolish that sounds? This situation is crazy, but that situation is crazier. I'm going to choose the crazy. Do you know how foolish that sounds? Gavin's read. I thought change would happen. I took too long. No, it's still time. As long as you're able to type something on that screen, as long as you're able to comprehend what I'm saying, as long as you have breath in your body, it is never too late, my love. Never too late. Because you're either going to get it here, experience it here, or you're going to get it and experience it the next lifetime. Why not do what your purpose to do in this lifetime, in the now? Not yesterday, not tomorrow, now. And let me just give you something. I know who I am. I know many of my divine purposes, right? I know in what I'm doing. I don't just believe certain things. The only reason you was attracted to me, all of you who are in this live right now, you were attracted to me because you are currently in the alignment that I'm in. And let me tell you something, it is a phenomenal energetic frequency to be in. Phenomenal, right? Because I am very in the knowing of my energy and frequency. I only align with individuals who are in align with me. And if I come into contact with individuals who are not in align with me, I know how to remove myself or distance myself or return to sender. You don't attract any other way. Everything and everybody, every situation that comes into your life for divine reasons. It is up to you to discover what those reasons is. And we don't know what we don't know. This is why you need to connect with individuals who are who is an expert in whatever area you want to grow in and evolve in and get the information you need. Individuals that is going to remind you of your higher self, your higher purposes, because if you're not doing this, you're doing that. If you're not doing this, you're doing that. If you're not doing this, you're doing that. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So I share to you. I share to you. Now cultivate it. Take time to cultivate it. Even if it's set it aside 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day to start. Take the first step and cultivate it. This ain't church, baby. I'm not here to hoop and holler and stroke your ego or stroke your emotions or get you revved up only for you to, baby, I ain't coffee. I'm not a sugar high that's going to crash 2 minutes later. That's not the purpose. Cultivate this. You don't keep what you don't cultivate. You have to feed the things you want to grow, the things you want to blossom, even the people you want to blossom. And some of those people, places, and things, you need to start starving. Start starving your addiction to want to be attached to certain energies and frequencies and toxic ass people and start starving your unhealthy addictions to people, places, and things, no matter what place that they hold in your life. Start starving them. How do you do that? By start feeding yourself. Because the more you feed yourself, the more you remember who you are, the more you raise your elevation. Guess what? It means the more you are giving your energy and your frequency to you. It's making you a priority. It's making your elevation and your ascension a priority. So guess what? If most of your energy is now focused on you, focused on healthy conversations, focus on being in healthy environments, focus on listening to things that are going to help you instead of hurt you. Guess what? The less you are giving energy to all of those different things, which are unhealthy addictions, the more you feed you, the less you feed them. The more you feed you, the less you feed it. Start starving everything and everyone that is unhealthy, even if they are in the next room from you. Make a way. Make a way. No excuses. No justifications, no rhymes or reasons. Make a way. Because at the end of your day, the end of your time here, guess who gonna pay? You. And aren't you tired of paying for shit that you didn't purchase on your own? Aren't you tired of bearing the weight of other people's shit and stupidity? Aren't you tired of bearing the weight of other people's silly ass decisions in your life? Even if that person, I respectfully and sincerely say this, even if that person is your spouse, even if that person is your significant other, even if that person is a mature child in your life, even if that person is a coworker, even if that person is an authority figure at your job. I can't stand saying bosses, right? Managers, whoever. Even if there's always a way. And if you need some guidance, hit me up. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to be on the phone with you for hours and hours and hours. Yeah, you're going to have to invest in yourself. Yeah, you're going to have to invest in yourself. Your ROI is determined by what you invest in. You're always going to get a return on your investment. You're always going to be investing. There's always an energetic exchange. You're always going to be investing something. And in this land, in this realm, yeah, even the fiat is an energy exchange. We're not immature to think that we're going to continually get, and not have to give something. It's about give and receive, give and receive. It's about polarities. You understand what I'm saying? However, even if it's not me, find somebody else, but invest in your self development. Invest in your self development. Thank you, my love. Thank you, Marvin. I appreciate you. Yes, we are our own greatest love story. We are. We are. We are. We are, my beautiful souls. Well, y'all not my beautiful souls, but we're family. Beautiful souls. It's time. Please stop playing with your life. Miss Jules, thank you so much, my love. Please stop playing with your life. Because just as evident as you see all of these people crashing and burning and being exposed before you, don't think that you're excluded. Please don't do that. Please reprioritize you. Please stop allowing people to treat you other than how you should be treated. And that's with respect. That's with honor. That is with integrity, right? That is with infinite divine love. And if you have to relearn what those things actually are, then invest in doing so. You cannot form new behaviors. You cannot gain higher perspective. You cannot rise in higher conscious awareness if you're not investing in information, right? External information is good, but when I mention information, I am always talking about your internal information first. But many of you do not understand as of now how to tap into your infinite reservoir of sacred knowledge because you are unaligned energetically, you are unaligned mentally, you are unaligned spiritually. Start choosing you first. Start choosing you first. If you got to stop buying coffee for a month, stop it. Is coffee more important than your life, than your breath? Because if it ain't, act like it. If your car is not as important as your life, act like it. Because some of y'all be quick to go get gas in the car, go quick to maintenance the car. Meanwhile, you got all type of red lights within you going off. All types of red lights, all type of signals going off. And you just completely bypass that. That was pretty. I like that. That was awesome. Thank you, Miss Jules. Infinite gratitude, my love. Right? You'll be so quick to go help somebody else. You'll be so quick to just shoot out, hand out the money. Like, aren't you more important? Priority. Where are you on your priority list? Some of y'all pay thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for secular education, and the GED ain't worth nothing no more. A PhD, and I'm not saying this is no dig for all of those who got PhDs and degrees. I have a degree myself, right? I don't lead with it, but I'm telling you a fact. It doesn't mean as much as it used to mean. It doesn't have that much weight as it used to have. And when you understand, right, and if you do your research of why these institutions was built and created in the first place, you can relate to what I'm actually saying to you, right? How many schools actually taught you about metaphysics? How many schools actually taught you in depth about genetics and epigenetics and quantum physics, quantum mechanics, right? Our spirituality. How many of these schools actually taught you trades and stuff like that? Because they took all the trades out of the schools. They stopped that a long time ago. Do you think that was by coincidence or happenstance? How many of these schools actually taught you about your actual physical makeup outside of the foundational things? Biology, how many of them actually went deep, deep, deep within it? How many of them actually taught you how powerful you are? How many of them schools and them degrees they offer put you in a position where you can think for yourself, think on your own, know that you are powerful, know that you are an infinite source of creation, know that you are a divine magnet that can attract anything and everything? How many of them schools taught you divine wisdom? How many of them schools taught you that you can literally attract anything and everything if you just energetically align yourself? No. What they taught you? Chase, 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 chase. Beg, borrow, steal. Knock your brother and sister over the head to get by. Survival, survival, survival. Meanwhile, you got some of them sitting back in the office relaxing. Offer your labor. Because you don't have the information that you need. And this is why one of the main reasons I teach self-mastery. I don't teach money. I'm not against those who do. I don't teach specifically about relationships and dating. Yeah, I can teach about all of those things. However, what is at the core of everything and all of those things? What? You. Soul self-mastery. Because until you understand and start operating and practicing mastery, soul self-mastery, mentally, spiritually, metaphysically, energetically, right? Guess what? Nothing much is going to change. Nothing much is going to change. Those of you who have an eye to hear, hear. Those of you who have an eye to see, see. How many of these institutions taught you that you can hear without hearing, that you can see without seeing, that you can taste without tasting, that you can smell without smelling, that you can sense without feeling? How many of them institutions taught you that? How many of them institutions actually are teaching you according to the essence of who you are and how to position yourself? None. Facts, Gavins, none. It hurt, but I had to walk through. Ashe. Ashe, Miss Jules. And so it's time for us to start investing in ourselves. It's time for us to start relearning, reprogramming, and reconditioning. It's time for us to stop feeding unhealthy addictions. It's time for us to start gaining a higher state of conscious awareness. It's time for us to start elevating. It's time, especially, no offense to my beautiful gods and brothers and divine masculine, especially to my goddesses, my fellow empresses, my sisters, my divine, the divine oracles, the mothers of this planet, the mothers of creation. Especially, I'm talking to you. It is time to rise. Tap into your goddess frequency, your whatever it is. Tap whatever you call it is. Some of you like being called queen. Tap into your goddess energy. This frequency is rising, and yes, you play a part. Contrary to unpopular belief, you have a responsibility to help raise the divine feminine frequency. I'm not talking about feminism. I'm not just talking about you being a woman. I'm talking about that you are inherently gifted with a profound frequency, and that is the dominant feminine energy. Mother Nature, Mother Universe, Mother Earth, you have a responsibility to help raise that frequency. And I know many of you don't want to hear this, but men carry a frequency too. You are a nurturer by nature. You are a spiritualist by nature. You are a divine oracle by nature. You are a healer by nature. You are a leader by nature. You are a provider by nature. You are a teacher by nature. Stop with this foolishness about you're not going to help men evolve and grow and expand. If you take your damn feelings out of it, you'll be okay. If you take away, you thinking every man that enters your life is a husband, is your husband, you'll be okay. Maybe then you'll be able to differentiate and decipher whether that man is coming into your life for you to help raise the frequency. It's not just about him. I'm so sick of all of these foolish ass conversations. These center men. Let them go. Let them this. Don't you know they are you? You are them. How can you so easily disregard them? And most of us women are in a positions of hurt and pain and discouragement and being abused and used because you put yourself there. Talk about accountability. Talk about responsibility. You forgot who you are. One of your purposes was not to sleep with every damn man that got a damn penis walking around here. Your purpose was not to fall in love with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that come in your life. Your purpose is greater than that. Your divinity is greater than that. Your purpose was not to sexually manipulate or sway or seduce every man that comes into your life. Where's the discipline? Where's the knowing? How can we so easily jump on bandwagons to disregard men? Do I condone the misbehaving, the things that they do? Absolutely not. But guess what? I don't condone a lot of our behaviors either. Everybody gets smoked. Everybody needs the knowledge. We are all a part of an infinite oneness. He is you and you is him. We are one. Stop this foolishness. Stop condoning and stop supporting and stop feeding this foolishness. Stop it. It's sickening. And many of us have sons who we love. We have uncles who we love. Stop the contradictory. We talk about keeping it all the way a buck. You're not keeping it a buck with yourself. You in pain just like the people you talking about that's in so much pain. You're in disillusion just like the people you talking about is disillusioned. How can you speak of how intelligent and how educated you are in all of these different areas, philosophy and science and biology? And I know the makeup of men and women, and I know men and women. I study men and women. How can you tell me anything how you a philosopher and a teacher and a student of life and you don't even understand what you're saying or what you're doing? And you are divine feminine. You are not standing in righteousness. You are not, because pure righteousness don't degrade, it don't demean. Yeah, it may hurt your feelings because the divine infinite truth does hurt sometimes. Infinite facts does hurt sometimes. But we don't easily discard and throw away. That's like chopping off your left arm just because it got a little dirt on it. That arm can still be so useful. Clean it up. Clean it up. We have to stop this foolishness. We have to stop jumping on the bandwagons of stupid shit that smell good, stupid shit that sound good, because you're only operating out of your hurt and your pain. How can you teach divine spirituality? How can you teach physics? How can you teach these things, all the beautiful sciences that we created, and you are hating your brother? I'm not saying that you have to condone the shit that he do or she do. I'm not, you hating your sister. I'm not saying that you have to tolerate any of that shit, but hating them, having contempt for them, discarding them in ways to say, just get off the earth, just get off the planet. Anytime you vibrating that low, you're not vibrating high. You're not in. You're not vibrating with infinite love. You're not. You're not. You're delusion if you think you are. Should we understand male and female psychology? Yes. Should we understand basic physics? Yes. Should we understand chemistry? Yes. Should we understand the natural differences between men and women? Yes. We should understand all of those things. Absolutely. But it does not mean that you have to hate and spew hatred and contempt for them. That's what purity isn't. That's what righteousness isn't. It's not contempt. It's not hatred. It's not shaming. It's not unrighteously, unjustly judging. It's not unrighteously and unjustly manipulating. It's not any of those things. And my wish and my hope is that for all of you who understand certain things and who are ready to elevate and expand, I encourage you, stop feeding people, places, and things that you know is unrighteous and not right. Because what you can never convince me of is that you don't have intuition. If you are an infinite being, if you are a human being, what some people like to say, you were born with a natural cosmic intuitive system. You know when something isn't right. You know when something is wrong or right. When you know we're choosing to ignore it for a multitude of selfish reasons. However, you are going to be held accountable for every decision, every action you make. Every. Do you understand what I'm saying? Knowledge doesn't need to be weaponized. Yes, it don't. It don't. And if we're saying, and for those of us who are teachers and educators, right? Because we all have certain gifts and talents and skills, certain purposes that we were supposed to be doing and living out that experience on this realm, right? Be accountable and be responsible for that, right? And if they're not being responsible, You be responsible. You be confident and courageous enough. You be spiritually inclined enough. You have integrity and honor enough to know that, you know what? I can no longer condone this. Some of y'all have male children, y'all have sons, and the disgust that is coming out of y'all mouths is so hateful and disgusting. Some of you men have daughters, aunties, mothers, and the disgust that comes out of your mouths is so hateful. It's so hateful. There's a difference in bringing awareness and educating from shaming and having contempt for. There's a huge difference in that, my loves. Let's be more responsible. Yeah, there are always going to be those who do that over there. However, what you cannot say is that you don't know better, because you do. Let's more of us start acting like it, right? Okay. So right now, you all have my undivided attention. You are more than welcome to ask me any questions. Do share your perspective. What was a takeaway within this lesson, this discussion that we spoke about, justifying poor behaviors, or if you just want to share your perspective. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, whether it's on within the title or whether it's just a random question. You have my undivided attention. In Wati land, my Wati family. If you have any questions, pop them up in the comment section. I'm gonna stick around for a little bit longer to answer your questions. Facebook land, the same goes for you. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comment section, and I'll see them and respond to my ability. Amanda says we all have a responsibility to be the change we wish to see in the world. Ashe, we do. And it is foolish to think that we don't. Thank you so much for the follow, my love. Is that Kylie or is it Kyle? I'm not sure. Let me see. I don't want to butcher your name. I think it's Kylie. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all I appreciate you all for tuning in. Um I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your participation. I appreciate the taps on the screen. I appreciate you all so very much. A couple of announcements before we get into the questions. Rise of a Goddess virtual university resumes 3/3/24. If you're interested, you're more than welcome to click the link in my bio. We have our own website, our personal hub that we navigate through. Is beautiful. It's up and running, so you can just check it out before you decide to invest. It is exclusively for women. I also, the next month, for those of you who are new to me, I give an exclusive monthly masterclass. It used to be every Saturday, at every last Saturday of the month. However, I am changing it to every last Friday of the month. So we're going to start doing these master classes. Like, I come before you at least once a week and do one of these free trainings, free lessons, and I share my expertise and knowledge with you. However, every fourth Friday, I do an exclusive master class. It is a $17 investment. But I've always gotten great reviews and feedback from those lessons. Those are lessons that I teach offline. I don't teach them on Facebook. Most of them, I don't repost. And if I do, it's snippets, but you get exclusive access to me, and it's more intimate. I love those settings because it is more personal and it is more intimate. um the master class I'm going to be teaching is about sacred actual exchange. Just put an S at that actual. I don't want to say it because TikTok is sensitive. So it's sacred actual exchange. I'm going to be teaching and giving you and pertinent information that you really need, especially when it comes to us exchanging sensual and actual energies, right? We're going to be speaking about soul cords, soul ties, all of these different things, and how, especially a lot of us think that when we break up with somebody, we break up with them. No, most of us are still dealing with other people's traumas and emotions and ancestral karma. And so we're going to be going into depth about a lot of those different things and what happens. This information you absolutely need. So if you're interested, click the link in my bio. You'll see it. It's the first tab. It says S.E.X, sacred actual exchange. That's what it stands for. And that's what we're going to be covering. Curve Appeal, I appreciate you too, my love. Django, how are you, my love goddess? I wish all sisters was on the frequency you're on. Well, there's always going to be a duality. You're going to have the negative and the positive, the up, down, right, left, positive, negative, feminine, masculine, yin, yang. However, infinite gratitude for your kind gesture. I appreciate you. More of us are rising. I would say that to Django. More of us are rising. More, and this is why one of the reasons why I created Rise of a Goddess Academy, because we need more cells. We need more tribes that are righteously educated women, that are righteously coming together, right? Because you got a whole lot of clicks here, a whole lot of clicks there, and it's doing nothing but leading our young empresses astray. And so the more of us women that invest in ourselves, invest in right knowledge, right information, righteous, conscious awareness, and elevate, the more we can make an impact in this world. So that's another reason why I created Rise of a Goddess exclusively for women, because we need more of us. There's not enough of us doing these things. You got a whole lot of nonsense and activities of groups and groups and groups of women that are on this low vibrational toxic frequency, and it's no one, just like I said, no one can violate cause and effect. Everything we do does affect us in many ways. It affects the atmosphere, it affects the universe, it affects plant life, it affects nature. Everything we do, because everything is frequency. And whether you know it or not, the energy that you emit, the energy that you radiate, it affects you and others in many different ways, right? And so that's just, not to get deep into that, but that's one of the reasons why I created Rise of a Goddess, because we need more fellowship, more healthy fellowship between women. We need more education. We need more atmospheres and platforms where we're not gonna stick a lollipop in your mouth, where we're not gonna condone you acting like a victim when you're really the victor. However, we are going to exude and display and act compassionate and empathetic, but we are not victims. It is high time that we rise, and it all starts with us making a decision to do something about it. Tasha, how are you, my love? I'm glad I came across your live tonight. I'm following you. Infinite gratitude, my love. I appreciate you. Make sure you come join us. I come here at least once a week, and I do teachings on various different things, all things self-mastery. If you want to, at your leisure, you're more than welcome to visit my YT, channel over there. I have some things that are over there that, that are not on TikTok and different, and especially because when I actually do these teachings, like most times I actually show a presentation, right? I actually put together a presentation for you, and only when you're on YT can you view the presentation. Tonight I didn't do it, even though I'm going live. But typically I do a presentation, because when you subliminally feed yourself, right, your program, you changing your program is just increases. It just makes it better, like 3 times the charm. So you're hearing the teachings, you're seeing the teachings, right? And so subliminal messages are powerful. So the images and things that I use also helps to amplify your energy and enforce the lessons that I'm actually teaching. So if you want to, just, even if you don't, just show your support and just, hit that subscribe button. It's free. The name is All Things Self Mastery. all things self mastery. My YT channel is all things self mastery. If you don't want to type that in, you can just simply click the link in my bio. I have a link there that'll shoot you right over there with ease. Just hit that subscribe button. You know, um, be a part of growing things that are healthy, and that's what you can do. I will soon be on Spotify, Tasha. I am actually in a process of I have joint forces with someone, that collaborating with someone that I respect, that it has the same mentality that I have, that have a lot of the same information. And so I do have a podcast that's coming out. You'll start seeing the flyers really soon. It is called You and I Verse, Universe. It stands for You and I Verse, because this is our universe, and we are the university. We are all things excellent. We are all beings excellent, right? And so we are the first philosophers, the first educators. And it's high in time that we start leveling this frequency out, right? Because right now it seems that all of in the context of what I'm speaking, the negative is highlighted, the unrighteous is highlighted, like, and so it's time for us to play our part in balancing this thing out, right? Helping the universe, because whether you know it or not, the universe is undergoing a great shift. The earth is undergoing a great shift. We hear about these things. We have been hearing about these things, and we're undergoing, like, we're actually in it. And so why not be a part of it? Why not, be on the right side of it? Because you don't want to be on the left side of the chaos, my loves. Y'all don't. Right. So we got to do something about it. So I actually have a podcast where we're going to be streaming on all of I'm not like podcast savvy. I'm going to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm a teacher and I'm an educator. So I do know one of the platforms we're going to be viewing on or showed on is Spotify, Apple something, and all the other ones, all the other streams we're going to be on. So you can look forward to that. It's called UNI Verse Universe. U dot and U dot N dot I dot verse. I just think a lot for sisters like you, y'all, for the win. Ashe, thank you so much to Django. Infinite gratitude. So if you all don't have any questions, I think I mentioned um all of the announcements. Oh, if you're interested, if you like reading, I'm also a self-published author. I was one of my books hit bestseller on Amazon a few years ago. I'm still excited about that. For 2 months. 2 months straight, I was best-selling author on Amazon. That's a big thing for those who know about self-publishing. Being a bestseller and keeping that up, right, for even a week. That's like a big thing. So I am also a writer. And the last book that I published is Attracting What and Who You Desire. It's a short read, yet powerful and profound. And it's going to be in book form soon. However, it is available in the PDF. A lot of what I talk about, the metaphysics, the energy, the hermetic principles, attraction, manifesting, things like that. A lot I go into detail in that book. It's 11 profound chapters, and it also has exercises that you can start applying what I teach in there. So if you're interested, click the link in the bio. It'll lead you to it. It's Attracting What and Who You Desire ebook PDF. It spells it out. Just take a moment and do that. And it's gonna help you tremendously. If you apply what I teach, it's going to help you tremendously. So if you don't, I talk about mentalism, correspondence, the law of gender and rhythm and polarity and magnetism, um, the vibration, all of these different things. So the more information you have, the more you can grow, right? Remember those steps I started saying you need to start investing in yourself. Amanda Sander, this has been such a powerful and plentiful conversation. Thank you so very much for your time. Infinite gratitude, my love. It's always infinite love and divine enlightenment to you always. I appreciate you. I appreciate you and I love you, and I definitely mean it. Why? Because I understand that you are me and I am you. And I truly love myself. I cannot love myself if I don't love you. We understand this higher level. consciousness that we on. And this is what I teach, and this is what I've been teaching for 15 plus years. You know, I'm definitely not new. And most of you who have been with me and supporting me for through and out of these years, y'all can definitely see my growth and new information that comes to me. I am also on a journey of self-mastery. I am also on a journey of self-mastery. I too am included. I too have to do everything that I'm teaching. And as a matter of fact, to me, my teachings are always for me first, because we always need reminders. Our reminders need reminders. And so my lessons are always directed towards me first, because I don't think I'm above you. I mean, there are some folks that we are just superior to, because there are some folks that are just, you know, I'll leave that for another intimate conversation, exclusive or off air. But there are soulless people walking around here. Okay. There are some people that the divine are superior to, right? We're going to call it like it is. I don't do humble. I don't dim my light, my intelligence, my confidence, my integrity to appease nobody's insecurities. I don't do humble. If you do, that's on you. Congratulations. I don't do servitude. I don't do being subservient just to make you feel good about what you lack. You either shine bright as me or about face forward march, or you can either put on some shades. You got some choices, but the choice you will never have is me lowering my light, dimming my light, lessening my shine and my confidence and my intelligence and my gifts just to make you feel good. So we don't do that over here. Ashe, Ashe, Tasha, we don't do that over here, okay? We do not. Our journey of self-mastery is never over. You're absolutely correct. It isn't. And so most people is still very new to the term and the concept of self-mastery. However, I've been saying self-mastery for 15 plus years. It's not new to me, but it is starting to become more polarized. So you do have a lot of individuals speaking about self-mastery and mastering self. However, when I tell you I do what I do, I do what I do. I didn't just get into this, right? And so self-mastery is not all about you mastering something and then it's just like, okay, I'm good in that area. No, remember what I said, you don't keep what you don't cultivate, right? And what that means is that I've mastered certain areas to the point where certain emotions don't control me, I control it, right? That's what it's all about, right? It's all about continuing to, because there's infinite levels within infinite levels. Just as nature and the seasons of life move in, through, and out of each other, right? From winter, spring, summer, fall, it's on a cycle. It's a beautiful life cycle. So we are always going to be continually evolving or continually devolving. The choice is always yours. Me, there's no other choice for me. I'm evolving. Okay, this devolving thing, that don't feel too good. I was on that road before. I was on that road before. Okay, there's all type of unnecessary detours, all types of turnaround, all types of it's all types of hurt, all types of pain, all types of stuff. It's all types of everything that I do not like. Okay, so whenever I see that road, okay, that say devolving, I go in the opposite direction. We do that. We evolve over here. Evolution for 109. Evolution for 109, Alex. Okay. Okay. I think I give me ascension for 500, Alex. Okay, because descension, no, thank you. Oh, y'all funny. Y'all definitely funny. Oh, shucks. You know what? Let me close out. Give me a second, TikTok. Okay, I've been rambling on. I don't see any comments in the section for my YT family or my Facebook family. Infinite gratitude once again. This is all things self mastery show, episode, podcast, whatever you want to call it. We just got finished discussing justifying poor behaviors or becoming desensitized to poor behaviors. I am your host and your educator, and now your favorite self mastery mentor and solutionist, Venus Goddess. Until next time, because I never say bye. Until next time, infinite gratitude and divine enlightenment to you always.